Hi, welcome to episode 35 of the Stress Knits podcast. I'm Stacy, also known as Stacy Elstone on Instagram and Stress Knits on Ravelry. You can find the show notes, if I write them, in our Ravelry group on Ravelry under Stress Knits. And yeah, so hi guys, it's 2017. Happy New Year. I hope everybody's holidays, Christmas, or whatever you celebrate, and your New Year were great. I hope everybody got their knitting done. I did not. I didn't really have any expectations for gift knitting just because of craziness of life right now. I did have stuff that I wanted to give Doug for Christmas, knitting wise, but other things just had to take priority. So I hope all of that was good for you. Yeah, so it's January 3rd, 2017. I get married in 4 days on January 7th. I'm excited. I just got off my last shift of work, so I look a little nuts. But Doug just left for his bachelor party with his best friend, so I thought I'd do a little bit of a podcast. I feel like it's going to be short just because I don't have a lot of whips. I have wedding knitting that I'm trying to get done, and I still have a half a tie and I need to take a sip of this. I moved back to vanilla iced coffee, and my wonderful shift put bride to be because I'm getting married. I'm gushing with emotion right now, so forgive me. Yeah, so I have half a tie to knit and one more hat, and then I'm done. So I'm trying to knock out the tie today and then the hat tomorrow. Luckily, the no work until after my honeymoon will help. So there's that. I'll talk more about that later, but yeah, so I do have finished objects, but my head did not think to bring them with me. They are at my house, at my parents' house, which is where I live right now. I'm moving here in a few days, but yeah, I left them there. So my dad's tie is finished. It looks exactly like my future father-in-law's tie, but his is a light pink because that is what my girls are wearing. So I'll show you that Fred's tie in a second. And then the hat number 3, I used Madeline Tosh Chunky in the Celadon colorway, and I knit just a basic hat, but I used the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern. Instead of having one knit round between the pattern, I knit 4 rounds. So it just looks like dots, and I really liked it. Yeah, so there's that. Also, the wind is nuts. It finally feels like winter in Michigan, which is exciting because I like winter. So if you hear anything like hitting the windows or the door, it's the wind. Yeah, so those are done. I just have to knock some other stuff out. So those are the finished objects that I have to show. I will show the other wedding stuff that I'm knitting on. This is my future father-in-law's tie. This is, well, actually my dad's tie is knit out of Quince & Co. Chickadee, which is the sport weight, in the petal colorway. And then I'm using Susan B. Anderson's wedding necktie pattern that she did for her son's wedding. So this is my future father-in-law's tie so far. It's this beautiful seed stitch pattern. The way Susan does it is wonderful. I'm taking out one of the decrease rounds, or actually I'm just moving the decrease round just because I didn't like the way that it made my dad's tie look. Luckily, when he puts it on, it's going to be covered by the collar. I made like a mistake or two on that, and it's right at where it's going to be behind the collar, so I was really excited I didn't have to rip out. But yeah, so this is that. This is knit out of Brooklyn Tweed Arbor in, do I have the tag? No, but it's the gray colorway. Yeah, and then I have my Pug Loaf stitch marker. He's so cute, by Sucre Miniatures, who's my favorite. and yeah, he's giving me motivation. So I literally did this in like a day, and because it's going to be less stitches in a few inches, it's going to fly by, especially tonight. I'm just going to binge watch some TV or some knitting podcasts because I have some of my favorite ladies to catch up with. So I'm just going to finish that tonight. I'm knitting these on my Carbons Interchangeable US 3s. So there is that. Here is the cake in case you're curious. They are 50-gram skeins. It reminds me a lot of Quince & Company, but I really like this. It's a very different Brooklyn tweed yarn, and I really enjoy it. So there is that. My soon-to-be work in progress that I will cast on is the 4th Bridesmaid hat. It is out of Metal and Tosh Chunky and Modern Fair Isle, which is one of my favorite colors. I think I'm gonna do a Cozy Head Happy Head hat for this one, or I might just do a regular knit stitch beanie. We will see how I'm feeling and how much time I have left for that. So that's happening. It's in a bag that I sewed that is a hot mess, but I love it because I made it. More iced coffee. I'm trying not to be frantic, but I'm just really excited about life and also really stressed out about life, so bear with me. Oh, I did have a half-finished object that I forgot to show. This is my second pair of Christmas socks, actually third, because I did have the half-finished object of the Gingerbread House by Jinx Yarns. I have not started the second one, and I just wanted to cast this on because I guess I've acquired this since the last time I podcast. I'm not sure. It feels like forever ago. But this is the Fawn and the Fox yarn, who is one of my absolute favorite dyers, and I wish we lived in the same country because the only thing that keeps me from buying everything in her shop is shipping. Which I feel like everybody understands, because if you're in Canada or Australia or the UK, you just don't want to pay shipping from like the US, and we don't want to pay for shipping from anywhere else. So it's hard. So I treated myself to this colorway. I think she was having a sale or something, and I was like, how can I not buy it? It might have been for Black Friday or Small Business Saturday. Laura, I'm not sure. But I'm obsessed with everything that she does. This is the Christmas tree colorway, and it's perfect. I did a shorty sock, 2x2 ribbing. I did like 22 rounds. I did it until I felt like it was long enough. I have partridge heel, but I did a smaller heel flap than I usually do. Regular foot. This is all on 64 stitches until the foot, I believe. No, I don't know what I did. Might have been 60 stitches. No, 64. I don't know what I'm saying. I did 64 this entire sock. But I love the greens in here because as somebody who dyes yarn, I have really hard times with greens. My greens never, unless they're mint. My mint is a shade that I really like. I can never get my green the right way. So I just really admire this colorway. And it's on her magpie base, which I've never had before. I don't know if you can tell. See the sparkle? It's absolutely amazing. Laura, if you're watching, hi. I love your yarn. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, there is sock number 1, and then sock number 2 is here. I cast this on Christmas Eve, and then I did a Christmas Eve cast on. So I'm like halfway done with the cuff. This is an acquisition that I will talk about, that I'm very excited. Yeah, so there's just ribbing. Here's the cake in case you're curious. I love it. I cannot wait to finish those socks because I will wear those all the time. So there is that, and then my Christmas Eve cast on. I joined, if you are not familiar, everybody, I feel like every other podcaster is explain this, but just in case, because I never want somebody to feel left out or stupid because they don't know something. So I'm just going to explain it just in case. So Little Bobbins, who is a podcaster from the UK, she, 3 years ago now, started a Christmas Eve cast-on with the podcasting community that she has. So she told her viewers that she always liked to cast on something special on Christmas Eve, like a special skein of yarn or a special pattern, and just kind of bring in the season with that. So a bunch of people have joined her. It's gotten bigger every year, and it's one of my favorite things. I look forward to it so much on Christmas Eve, because Christmas Eve for my family is kind of the day that we all get together and eat and exchange gifts and just hang out, and it's wonderful. So I really love when we get, like, that this is just, it adds something else that's really special to the day. So, I cast on the Vintage Fairy Lights by Helen Stewart, which I believe which was a collaboration with Danny and somebody else. Can't remember. I didn't write it down. But I cast it on. I did a 2x2 rib because I didn't know what this was going to be. I tend to do that. I tend to cast on a bunch of cuffs, and then when I feel like knitting with the yarn, I just pick it up and pick a pattern or do plain vanilla. Like, I have 2 other socks that their cuffs are completely done, and I have no idea what I want to do with them. So I just did my standard 2x2 ribbing instead of the twisted rib, but I think it looks fine. So I finished the fairy light section, and now I'm working on the rest of the sock. I think I'm going to do another inch, and then I'm going to start the heel. I am obsessed. I love it so much. This is Stress Knits Yarn, my yarn, in the December Club colorway Winter Solstice, which is going to be making an appearance in the next shop update, which I'll talk about at the end of the episode in case you're not interested. But I was just so obsessed with it that I needed to cast it on. Here it is in the cake, and it's very color accurate. So I love it. These are my Addy Sock Rockets US ones, 2.25 millimeter. So there is that. What else? Acquisitions. So I hinted at this last ow, I just stabbed myself. Last episode, and now I have my signature sock needles. These are signatures. The stiletto tip, I ordered 5 inches. These are the US ones, 2.25 millimeter. I find that that's kind of my go-to size. I'm in love with these needles. They were an investment, but I can see myself buying more. And not just the sock needles, because I think maybe one more pair, just so I can do socks concurrently, because I would like to start that this year. I really want to get a pair in the sizes I use most for shawls and sweaters, which is 4, 5, 6 US. So I think that's going to be an investment over time. It's not going to happen all at once because signatures are expensive. But the quality is, you can't beat it. Again, it's an indulgence. If it's something that you can't afford, save up for it. If it's something that you want to do, like, that's what I did. I put some money aside for it. $1 or $2 here and there. Yeah, because I was going to buy a size US 5, and then I saw that the sock needles came out, and so I used the money that I saved for my US 5s for the sock needles. And I'm so happy that I did, because I love them. They do have a clear cord instead of, I think it's the black cord that they have, and they don't swivel. And that's the only difference between the convertibles and the fixed circular that this is. So I love them. I love the tips. They are very sharp. That time, like a minute ago that I poked myself is the only time I've poked myself. I've been very careful with them. Yeah, the join is perfect. It makes knitting fast. Yeah, I love them, and I love the green. It makes me really happy. I hope they come out with more sizes, because I would really like a 1.5 US 2.5 millimeter needle. I think that'd be great. Yeah, I just love these. Highly, highly recommend if you're thinking about them. And if you're curious, just go check them out. Their signatures, they're amazing. Okay, so there's that. After being waxing poetic about that, I received my first Mrs. Brown's bag. So I knit a swatch for Jody. I knit 2 swatches for Jody. None of them are in the shop yet. I'm really excited because I was in love with one of the ones that I knit her. I felt bad because I took kind of long doing it. I took like a few days longer than I was supposed to take. But she was perfect. She was great. She's Jody. She understood. So yeah, so as a, basically as compensation for helping her knit her swatches, everybody that did it got a Mrs. Brown's bag. And we got to choose it, so this is the one I chose. I love it. Yeah, it just has the natural lining. This zipper is great. Her cute little tag. I'm obsessed. It makes me want to buy all of them. I had to stop myself from buying one that was in the shop. It was a lemonade shop one. It's the one that's like speckly and black, and I'm obsessed with it. But I stopped myself because I'm going on my honeymoon in 5 days. Yeah, because we're leaving Monday. We're going to New York City. And I'm going to be there when Vogue Knitting Live is happening. So I'm going to Vogue Knitting Live. I think we're going to go Friday, or we might try to swing by before our flight on Saturday. So I have to talk to him to see what he's up to doing. I would rather go Saturday because I feel like I'm going to be more likely to see people I want to see. Like Sue, I don't know if Chelsea's going from Legacy Fiber Arts, Kristen Vollenvine, Mina if she's going, Jacqueline Salem, Brooklyn Knit Folk. I'm just excited to finally be in a place where other knitting podcasters are. So that's it. I don't even know if they care, but I'm really excited. And yeah, so I think this is going to be my honeymoon knitting bag that I bring. But yeah, so basically the moral of that story is I didn't buy another Mrs. Brown's bag because I'm saving money for Vogue Knitting Live. Because Doug and I are super dorky, and when we got engaged, I knit him engagement socks, and I knit myself engagement socks. I knit his out of Desert Vista Dye Works. Here Comes the Zom Bride. And I knit mine out of Hedgehog Fibers Teacup, and I love them, and I love that we have that, and it's just a cute sentimental thing. So we're gonna pick out skeins of yarn to be our wedding socks because we're dorks like that. Okay, so yeah, there's that. Future cast-ons. So since I've been going hard at wedding knitting for the past like week because I procrastinated too long, I just keep dream knitting. So there are 2 shawls that I really want to cast on, and I will probably cast one of these on for the honeymoon. I forgot to grab the yarn for the second one, so I'll talk about that first. The first one I've talked about knitting for a while. It is the Party on Your Needles by Joji Locatelli. I'm going to be knitting it out of Vollenvine yarns in Jilted Rose and Dirty on Purpose, both on the blitzed base. Super excited. Those are my 2 favorite colorways from her, bar none. Those are the 2 colorways I would knit a sweater for myself out of. I am going to be getting a sweater quantity of Jilted Rose sometime this year. Like that, it's happening. I've been thinking about it for the past like 1.5 to 2 years. So I just have to bite the bullet and do it. So I'm gonna do it. think it's gonna be in her Volca base. We'll see. So that's coming down the pike, and then so this find your fade business. I wasn't gonna fall down the rabbit hole of that. I didn't think I had stuff in my stash that would go well together. And then I played around with stuff in my stash, and then I dyed a skein of yarn, and I was like, it works. So I'm gonna show you what I think is gonna be my Find Your Fade show. So first things first, my woolen boon in Buffy. Woolen Vine Jilted Rose on her Volca. Is that the way I wanted to do it? Yeah. Druzy Rising. I have other skeins of this because my ball winder ate it, essentially. But this is Druzy Rising. Oh gosh, what's it called? Willow Sweater? I think that's what this is called. That. The boho chic fiber leftovers from my exploration station. There's part of it. How was I doing this? Wait. Oh, I'm so confused. I had it all in order and then I took it out. I think this is what I'm ending it with. Yeah. Okay, that makes way more sense because I actually want it to really fade into each other. So I want to put likes near each other. So after Druzy Rising will be Life in the Long Grass Rose Hip. So this is my center cake and I have a full skein, so I thought that would be good. There's that. Then this is my hand-dyed yarn in essentially what is Winter Solstice, but it's a lighter version of it. So there's that. And then, so these will be next to each other. And then from this into Woolen Vine Succulents on her Blitz base, then into the boho chic fiber in the Lichen colorway. Excuse me. So I think that's my fade. The only thing I'm really not sure about is my yarn. I think I might look for something at Vogue Knitting Live. I'm feeling like Hedgehog or something. I might try to hit Kristen's update Friday. I'm gonna use my Vogue Knitting Live budget if that happens. So I'm gonna try. It's so hard because they're not all, because a lot of these are leftovers. This isn't gonna work, but you get the idea. So just a very pinky minty thing, very me. But I love this. So I think that might be my honeymoon knitting. I think it'll be very relaxing. Yeah. So that is all of the like overly knitty content. I'm going to go into a year in review and 2017 goals and then a little bit about shop. So if you're not interested in any of that, I will talk to you after I'm married. It's gonna be like a week or two. And that will be my knitiversary episode. My feet are falling asleep because I sat on them. I'm gonna get a little closer. I'm gonna push this back. I don't know how well this is gonna go. Okay. So I need to sit on my feet because I'm so not comfortable. Don't mind this. Starbucks is, the floor is so gross. It's just full of coffee. We clean it so much and it never stays clean. So if you kneel or anything, your pants get dirty. So I'm sorry that's gross. Okay. So 2016 was an interesting year. I'm not really gonna get into stuff that I didn't really care for 2016. It kind of sucked for a lot of reasons. I feel like most of you agree on that, but personally, it was a pretty good year. I graduated college, I moved back home to Michigan, Doug and I planned our wedding. Yeah, so it it was a great year. So I'm going to talk about my knitting goals that I had all the way back in 2016 in January. So I had 8 goals. I had start a podcast, check. Knit 12 pairs of socks, check. I think I was around 40. I forgot to enter Kristen's box of socks, Cal, because I didn't have a box. So I'm going to be participating again this year, but I will be successful in posting, and I probably won't knit as many pairs just because I won't have as much downtime as I did in 2016 because of college, and because I got to knit during lectures and my job, and I don't get that anymore. So I doubt I'm going to knit 40 pairs of socks next year. But yeah, so I hit my goal of 12 pairs. Knit 6 sweaters. I finished 1. I still have one on the needles that I started in 2015. But I have about 3/4 of a sleeve left to knit, and that's it. I haven't done it. So I need to finish that. So I did not do that. Knit things I will wear, definitely did that. I knit way more shawls and stuff like that, which I wear pretty frequently, which is awesome. Knit down my stash. I did that. Not as much as I would have liked, but you know how it is. Finish cozy memory blanket. This guy did not do that. I'm close, but no. Learn how to knit cables. I did that. And learn how to knit color work. I did that as well. So I feel like it was a very successful year. I also learned how to do brioche last year. Yeah, so I actually showed off my engagement socks in episode 1. I just turned the page and it's stressed and it's episode 1. Crazy. Yeah, so gosh, I can't believe it's been almost a year of podcasting. Nuts. Yeah, so 2016, I feel like I was very successful as a knitter, as far as what I knit and the new techniques that I learned. I started my business that I am just so unbelievably thankful for, and thankful to all of you for supporting that and supporting this podcast, and I'm just in awe of how wonderful all of you are. So thank you for watching, and thank you for keep coming back, and it means so much to me that you do that, so thank you. Let's get into 2017 knitting goals. I have 4, and 2 of them are not knitting related. They're fiber related, but they're not knitting related. So for the knitting goals, I would like to start knitting sweaters that fit. I've knit a few sweaters, but I don't wear them because of the fit of them. So I would rather learn how to knit to my body type. So we're going to try to do that this year. I want to knit for others more, especially like Doug. I want to knit a pair of socks for both of my brother-in-laws. I just want to knit stuff for more people. So we're going to try to do that. I want to learn how to crochet. I am going to jump down the rabbit hole so hard. After I get back from the honeymoon, I'm ordering or buying a crochet hook and starting. So I'm going to do that, and I also want to learn how to quilt. So those are my goals for 2017. I'm really excited to see what that brings. And I can't wait. I feel like it's gonna be a good year, despite all of the other crap that's happening. So with that, I'm going to move into shop news. So if you're not interested in Stress Knits Yarn, then I will see you next time. And if you are, let's talk about it. So I just finished dyeing the December installment of the it is the December Yarn of the Month Club. I started doing Yarn of the Month clubs because I feel like it's less of a commitment to buy one skein of yarn as a club. you still get the surprise element that comes along with the club, but you don't have the large financial stress that comes with doing a club. It's 1 skein of yarn versus 3 or more, so I felt like that was a really cool thing to introduce, because I really like when dyers do that, so I thought I would do that. So I'm shipping those out tomorrow. So if you ordered those, 1, thank you, and 2, you should be getting them within the next week. Sign-ups for February will be going up after the honeymoon, so look for that around like the 17th, 18th of January. Sorry I'm adjusting so much. I'm just not comfortable right now. So look to that. Along with the signups, I will be having a shop update. I was going to try to have one over the honeymoon, but I haven't had a lot of time to dye. I have time to dye today, but I would rather go home and pack and do stuff with my mom while I can, and she's not dying. I'm just not gonna have the normal access that I usually have to her, so like not living together. So I just want to kind of hang out with her, and I have a bunch of new dyes coming. So this next shop update, there will be a few returning colorways, like Nemo Touch the Butt, Sweet Disposition, Winter Solstice, stuff like that, but there will be a lot of one-of-a-kinds, just so I can play around with the dyes and see how they react together and maybe come up with some new colorways. So that's really exciting. Those aren't getting here until tomorrow. I'm also introducing a new base. I think I'm going to, this will be my last time selling my smooth sock. I don't really like it. Actually, it's right here. It's my 75-25. It's a good base, and I buy this base from other dyers, or they have a similar base, if it's not this exact one. And I love it, and I love knitting with this base, but I would rather have a different option. So I'm introducing a higher twist merino nylon cashmere, which will be cheaper than my my squishy sock base. So I have no idea what I'm going to call it yet, but I'm introducing that. If you ever knit with Kristen's Lush base from Wool and Vine Yarns, it is very similar to that, and that was one of my favorite bases. Excuse me. So I found something similar, and I love it. I love dyeing on it. I love the way it takes dye. I'm going to be knitting a pair of socks out of Nemo Touch the Butt on that one, just because I want to see how it feels and see if I want to offer it at my shop full time. So new base, new dyes are coming, a lot of one-of-a-kinds. So yeah, thank you guys for an amazing year. I can't wait to see you after the wedding and the honeymoon. If I see you at Vogue Knitting Live, please say hi. Yeah, I'm really awkward and shy in person, but I also hug. So come say hi, and I will talk to you guys next time.